104.5, the new Triple M, Roy and HG, the Weekenders, that's us. They're the Sporting Probe. They're coming up from 10 o'clock. We are the Weekenders. You got Dobbo and Sam Squires for Seats Are Us. What's on in Brisbane? Well, we'll find out with Kath Rose before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I love this segment every week. Just for the record, my house is done and dusted. Gone. Yeah, like it only took 3 weeks, so I've been talking about it, and we followed the tips of this bloke, and it all came good. Trent Quinn from I Think Property is on for his weekly chat on real estate. Mate, before we even get into it, good morning. How hot is it in Ipswich at the moment?
Well, mate, I'm standing here in the main street having a coffee and I can't see anyone wearing a coat. Let's just put it that way. I'm looking for where's my union rep? What's the heat policy on open homes on a Saturday?
Oh, there would be one. There would be one. Do you have to wear the coat or is it just the open neck today, mate?
We've gone the open neck. I'm channeling the good Dobbo. So it's just the open neck, sleeves rolled up. So it's more of a casual affair today. But no, last weekend of open homes, I Think Property, we got big auctions out here Thursday night. But, guys, I've got to admit, I'm super excited. Just hearing Stylesy there before. My boys are back in action. The Reds are in today. 2 weeks' time, we're up against the Sharks. Group racing at Caulfield.
Oh, here we
what
go.
A day.
Yeah, here we go. Right, we're not actually for a sports report, mate. Real estate. Hey, Quinny, we've talked about if you're trying to sell and and advertising, we've talked about auctions, but we haven't talked about if you're a buyer. And this week I thought what we could go with is if you're a buyer, some tips that you can give buying when you're trying to purchase either at an auction, private treaty, and ways that you can, because it's so difficult to get that house. There's so much competition now, ways that might put you ahead of the others.
Certainly, mate. And I suppose what you need to bear in mind is the real estate framework, so to speak. So as an agent, we're employed by the seller to market and sell their property. So the minute that a buyer walks through an open home or phones an agent, you can almost sense there's this automatic sense of conflict. You know what I mean? Like they think that we're against them, when ultimately we've still got a duty of care to the buyer and we're working with the buyer to get a deal for our seller. But the main thing that I keep coming back to, and whether it's real estate, whether it's motor vehicles, whatever it is, like I'm amazed that people put more effort and research into where they want to go on holidays than they do into buying their next house.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to do the research on the area that you're looking to buy in and ask the agent to help you, because that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, Quinny, but what about, if I want to go and buy a house and there's 4 or 5 people on this same house and it's for private treaty or it's going to auction, what are some tips that you can tell that might make a difference to get us to buy that?
Well, the main thing that I'd say to buyers is the best way to buy a property is start dialogue with the agent that's representing that property and make an offer.
Yeah.
Like the only risk that you run as a buyer on making an offer on a property is you just may end up owning the thing. You know what I mean? Like talk to the agent, get a feel for where the seller's at. You know, the usual questions that we face every day if it's a private treaty negotiation or if it's a property listed with a price. Like you can almost hear it coming before the buyer opens their mouth. You know, it's, are they open to negotiation? How long have they been on the market? Why are they selling? And when a buyer starts asking those questions, then we know that we're in with a chance of selling the thing. So talk to the agent representing that property.
What about finance? I mean, what if the house is so popular it can go really quickly, even in one day? How much do you need to be prepared in that sense so you know exactly pre-approval and everything?
Spot on, Sam. Spot on. And that's what I was going to get to. The most important thing is finance. And as a buyer, being armed with what you can and what you cannot afford. And what I'd encourage people to do is, you know, there's statistics on it that the industry's done, and what I suppose a lot of the older demographic aren't aware is nearly 2/3 of property transactions now, the finance is conducted by a mortgage broker.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's still this school of thought where, no, I've been with one of the big four since I had a Dolomite account in grade 1. I can't leave them. But talk to a broker, because brokers work with a number of different lenders. And you need to get a feel for your capacity. And as agents, we encourage our guys all the time to ask the buyers, hey, are you under control with your finance? Are you aware of what you can and can't do? And the other trap that buyers sometimes fall into is it's all good to go onto a website and Google how much can I borrow, and this computer spits out a number at you. But you may be shocked that you may not be able to get within cooee of the number that they give you.
Sure.
Or conversely, you might be able to get a hell of a lot more if you go to a different financier. So, Sam, that is the number one point. Ensure your finances are under control and you've got a handle on your capacity. And the other thing is, like, as I said, we ask all the time, don't be put off if an agent asks you as a buyer about your finances, because, again, under that umbrella of the agent working for the seller, in what's slowly starting to become a seller's market and days on market are reducing, there's nothing worse than having 5 people through an open home. You get 4 offers, you make a recommendation to the owner to take one, and then that person's finance falls over. The other people go and buy somewhere else, and then we're back to square one.
Very, very good advice. Trent Quinn from Ithing Property. Quickly, mate. Sian, your wife, what are you doing for Valentine's Day for her?
Well, mate, I was listening to what you were saying earlier, and I'm not one for the cliched 14th of Feb, so I thought I'd get in early, and it backfired on me. So a couple of weeks ago, I said, honey, we'll go down the coast for the weekend. So we went down the coast, and then it was Sunday morning. I said, come on, we'll go and buy your gift. And she didn't like the 5% of that epaulette filly at the Magic Million sale.
See you later, Trent Quinn.
Put it in her name.
Have a good weekend, mate. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Kath Rose joining us next for What's On in Brisbane.